Late one chilly night, Tendai, a Form 2 student at Mwansabombwe boarding school, found himself in a dire predicament. His bladder threatened to burst, yet the thought of braving the school grounds sent a shiver down his spine. The outhouses, ominously perched 50 meters away from the dormitories, might as well have been in another realm. Tales of the Tumbumba, prowling in the darkness, echoed in his mind, each one more horrifying than the last. The older students had spoken in hushed tones of creatures that thrived on fear, their eyes glowing like Malasha in the pitch-black night. "If you see anything strange," his bunkmate had said, with a grave expression, "whisper napapata, mungachoke munjila." It means, "I beg you, please clear the way." Armed with his faint glimmer of protection, Tendai reluctantly grabbed his flashlight and stepped outside. The cold air nipped at his face, and the night seemed unnaturally still, as if holding its breath. The path to the outhouses snaked through a grove of trees, their skeletal branches swaying airily in the faint moonlight. Shadows danced across the ground, twisting and stretching like sinister claws. Halfway there, a faint rustling sound froze him in his tracks. His flashlight quivered in his grasp as the beam darted frantically through the darkness. Then he saw it, a small, human-like figure darting behind a bush. Tendai's breath hitched as two glowing red eyes emerged from the shadows, locking onto him with an intensity that turned his blood cold. Heart pounding, Tendai fumbled for his words his bunkmate had taught him. Napapata, he whispered, his voice trembling. "Mungachoke munjila." The glowing eyes blinked and vanished, leaving an unsettling stillness in their wake. For a brief moment, Tendai felt as though the entire night had stopped, listening to his every heartbeat. Terrified and trembling, he turned and sprinted back to the dormitory, his bladder now the least of his concerns. Behind him, the wind whistled through the trees, carrying a faint, chilling laugh that he prayed was only his imagination. That night, as he huddled under his blanket, Tendai realized why the stories of the Tumbumba, the Red Schooner, and the Ghost Lady endured. In the eerie stillness of a boarding school night, they were far too real.